Ah. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Salute to Mr. Martin. How are you doing, sir?
I am excellent, thank you.
Oh
Cold
man.
here in Cape Town, but I'm surviving. I'm
Oh,
surviving. I've had worse.
sure, it's so cold, eh? What can we do?
You know,
It's what it
40
is.
degrees in Cape Town is like -10 in Serbia.
What? Really?
Yeah, I can't. Also, we have this fabulous thing called central heating, and it's literally the government turns the heating on the 1st of October. It doesn't go off again until the 1st of May. Whereas here, of course,
Central
no
heat.
one has heating, not
I
even
love
privately.
that. Central heating. Martin, man, I've got your bio here and it's so long. Hey, I'll try. It looks like by the time I finish talking through the bio, we'd be done with our 30 minutes, you know? But you've been, a former director of the Association of Film Commissioners Internet. I know my Colorado Film Commission, Cape Film Commission, former Chief Operations Officer of the South African International Film and Television Market, Sitengi.
Sitengi, remember Sitengi back in the day?
Yo, and this is the one that I love the most. Senior advisor to Prime Minister. I hope I won't say.
Brnovich.
Ah,
Brnovich.
thank you. You rescued me. I was going to be sent to the gallows tonight. Oh, thank you, man. And of course, co-founder, um, founder and CEO of KiWIMA.
KiWIMA.
Can we start there? What is KiWIMA?
Okay, so let's just so KiWIMA is designed as a streaming platform
Yeah.
for vertical media content,
Mm.
but also a production factory to provide the content for KiWIMA, for the platform,
Yeah.
but also a community fan hub of people who want to watch vertical content, and also an underlying AI system that brings the whole lot together
Uh-huh.
and limits the amount of kind of human involvement we have to have in the management so that we
Yeah.
can do it efficiently, and hopefully allows us to produce large quantities of vertical media content at scale for the market that we're opening in, which is specifically the Swahili-speaking market of East Africa.
Aha. Swahili. All right. Let's start with Africa. Let's zoom out a bit. Martin, because
Absolutely.
I'm very, very honored to host you tonight. And the work that you're doing in Africa is amazing. And it deserves, I don't know what kind of stage, if not the world stage, right? But why Africa? Why do you think Africa needs to rely solely on it shouldn't rely on foreign platforms. It should focus on itself. Let's
Well,
start.
you know, this was really the thinking behind everything I've been looking at. So let me just step back very quickly. So as you picked up, about 30 years ago, I started my career with Sitengi, which was the first attempt after the end of apartheid for the South African government under the Mandela administration to connect African filmmakers back with the global film industry. And so
Yeah.
really for the last 35 years, I've been looking at ways to break through this deadlock of Africans trying to make films and sell them and become sustainable from their own work.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, it's incredibly difficult.
Mm.
And I was working in Tanzania about a decade ago, and I just kept seeing that the Swahili market, Swahili language is spoken by a minimum of 120 million people.
Oof.
And the idea of, you know, how do we as filmmakers connect into that marketplace,
Mm.
right? And in the old days, it wasn't possible because various, the cost of production, the cost of distribution, the fact that
Yeah.
in the old days you're dealing with cinemas that, we used to call it the tyranny of location, that you could only sell in the vicinity of your local cinema. But I think that's all changed. And then the real thrust then is, if you take something like 120 million people of Swahili, but you look at the African continent as a whole, population projections across the continent, just sheer demographics, are that by 2050, 1 in 4 people on the planet are going to be African. So, you're not any longer telling African stories for a minority. You're telling it for a very soon to be majority. 12 of the 20 fastest growing economies on the planet are African, which means that African people are slowly becoming, they're slowly having more cash to spend on leisure. It's no longer, poverty only. The IMF is saying that Africa will outpace all other regions by about 1.5% in terms of growth. And you've got places like Nigeria, Ethiopia, Kenya, Ghana, which have, 6 to 9% GDP growth each year. Also, that people are becoming more and more educated all across the continent. So you're dealing with no longer a kind of agricultural-based society. You're dealing with people who live in cities and want the things that we want, just happen to be in different African countries. I love the one thing I love is there are 200 million Nigerians today. By 200 million, by 2050, they say there will be 500 million. But of that 200 million today, 100 million of them are under the age of 18.
18 or younger.
18 or younger.
Over how many? 100?
100 million Nigerians are under the age of 18. So imagine the opportunity of creating television shows that sell into that market and don't even have to pretend to be European influence or, suitable for the American market or suitable for the Canadian market. It doesn't matter. We are in the pound seats in Africa when it comes to the potential of the continent as the film market of the future. To give you an idea, the average age of Africans right now is 19. The average age of Chinese people is 39. The average of Europeans, I think, is 46.
What?
So imagine, what I'm talking about, therefore, is an environment where Africa has a youthful population that is rapidly growing, is rapidly educating, and is rapidly increasing its spending power. And the stories that we can tell for them are not so different for the stories that we tell for each other. That we can't, just through a little bit of kind of finessing how we do it, find new markets without actually ever having to leave the continent. And not just easy, like not just cheap markets, but like proper, viable, dynamic markets.
Yes. Because of all that 100 million, or 200 million, 120 million Swahili, how much of that percentage do you need to build a sustainable business? You don't need to go anywhere else.
That's right. And so KiWIMA, I'm basing it on 2% of the population.
Just 2%.
Just 2%.
Can I have the remaining 98%?
Well, I mean, you see, that's where this becomes joyful, because everything is up for grabs then, right? I mean, and the KiWIMA business plan looks at then expanding to northern Nigeria, to Fulani Hausa, to Amharic in Ethiopia, Yoruba in southern Nigeria, and Egyptian Arabic and Maghrabi Arabic. And with those 6 languages and a 2% population goal, just 2%, I then have an access to 560 million people and my 2% of that population is 11 million paying users.
Oh, I'm just letting that sink in for a while.
I mean, and I think we have to, right? Because we've been so busy being shaped by Showmax and
Yes.
Netflix, and you know, when you make a show for Netflix, it has to be at that international quality, and it's you know, screened on the wide screen and 5D and super duper quality and sound and subtitles and blah 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 blah. If we make shows for Africa, especially on the vertical platforms, we can be churning out content that, you know, has a return simply because the audiences are on our doorstep.
We've got 1.5 billion people in Africa.
Yeah, and it's going to be 2 billion.
Plus,
It's going to be
1.5 billion plus.
Plus.
Right?
Now, why would you then make a Netflix film where they own all the rights, you know, and you have to make it so that someone in Canada or someone in Germany or someone in Thailand,
yeah,
when watching it, understands the culture that it's made in?
Mm.
Whereas if you're making for Swahili language or, you know, any of these other large language models in Africa,
yeah,
you don't have to protect, we don't have to pander to the West. We really just don't.
Man,
honestly, it's a complete mind fuck that you look at it and you think it can't be that obvious. Yeah. And you know, the thing is, it actually isn't that obvious. There are a couple of things that worry me without a KiWIMA on the horizon. Yeah. One is how you, as an independent microdrama producer, reach that that market easily. And I think that there's some questions still hanging over that, you know, how you monetize it.
Yes.
And working in Africa itself is not, as we know, is not so easy either. But who, if not us,
yes.
are knowledgeable about how to make those things work? I mean, certainly our ability to do it is going to be far greater than a producer from Sweden or a producer from Brazil. Far greater.
Definitely.
So I think that what we're sitting on is the potential gold mine of the future of entertainment media content for African markets.
Yes.
That don't rely us to even pretend to subtitle in English.
Yes. Yes. We don't need anyone coming to tell our own stories. We can tell our stories within the continent, distribute them, enjoy them.
Absolutely.
That's it.
150%.
But tell me something. Okay, before we zoom into KiWIMA, right, as a platform and your objectives there, how are you finding the what is the payment system like? Because there's this notion that digital payment, credit cards is possibly an issue in Africa.
Well, that's something that's mentioned often. And I think that one of the reasons that I looked at particularly Kenya as a place to start is that it has M-Pesa and these kind of non-internet based payment systems. So it's already fairly jacked up in terms of how the systems work.
Right.
Another thing that people have said to me, of course, is how will anyone pay $2 a month to use the platform? You know, nobody's going to pay that. And my answer is twofold. One, they already do pay $10 a month for Netflix. Yeah. Right? They already do pay that money. And again, I only need 2% of the population to pay that. I don't need everybody. And then the other side of it is if 2% of the population don't want to pay to watch Swahili language programming, why would anyone invest in Swahili language programming anywhere? Right. And I felt this about you know, even within South Africa, about some of the stuff that we were doing. You know, if we are saying that people won't pay to watch a Zulu film,
yeah,
why would the government continue to make fund Zulu films? It doesn't make any sense. Unless you're just going to completely make it cultural with no other kind of obligation on the filmmaker. But I don't think that works for us as a film community either, because one of the things that I really want to see is viability of production companies making a living from their own work. And there are two ways that I thought KiWIMA would potentially help here. And one is, obviously, there is a potential platform for micro producers to come along and make content for the platform.
Yes.
But if the process of making a microdrama is too complex for producers at the beginning, we're expecting large volumes very soon.
Yes.
Then potentially one of the things I will do is start a writer's room. So then the producers simply become a service company. And as you know, the service companies in South Africa are all the richest, and because they're simply being paid to produce a product. The Moonlightings of this world, so what we're able to do then is create an environment where we're able to say to producers, okay, you can guarantee through this system of an extra $120,000, $150,000 a year coming into your accounts for potentially 6 to 8 weeks work, and you'll be free the rest of the time to apply whatever grants and funds and use however much you want to make your own films. If microdrama is not what you want to do for the rest of your life, then by all means, but just now you've got the opportunity of not living hand to mouth. I mean, one of the things that always pissed me off as a film commissioner and with Sitengi is that the high cost of failure in South Africa in particular. You make one bad film for the NFEF or whoever, and you never get funding again. Your career's over. But how do people improve if they can't experiment? And how do you even get government to say, okay, we're going to give you money to play? This system allows us to both experiment with new content, because we're constantly testing it with the audience. We're saying, is this what you want to watch? Do you want to watch more? How can we do more? What else do you want to see? How do you want to see it? Which actresses do you want to see? Which actors do you need? I think that this unlocks a lot of the problems that the film industry has faced up until now. And I guess the other thing to say to the people listening in is that the idea of the AI system is that it allows, I mean, obviously I don't speak Swahili. I tried, I don't speak Swahili. But the idea of the AI is that the system that runs the whole KiWIMA platform is bilingual, English and Swahili. So producers can produce in English, but the actors will simply perform in Swahili. So we are able to then use South African producers, English-speaking producers, to contribute to the Swahili platform.
Wait. Say that again. Say that again. I didn't get that. You're saying we can produce in English?
Yes. So you would do all of the call sheets and the briefings and the permit applications, or what, you do that in English. But as long as the actors are speaking in Swahili, then we have a product that we can sell on the KiWIMA platform.
All right, I see that. But now, I think in our call, you mentioned something very interesting about the AI, which now would allow us to, for example, actors can perform in English, and we can convert that instead of the traditional dubbing. Can you talk to us about that?
There are all of these AI tools which are coming to light now, which, as I said, my goal is to create a content factory that produces high volumes quickly, efficiently, and cost effectively. And throughout that, there is AI that allows us to, to do a whole range of things. And one of them is it allows you to sync your actors, and it even moves the faces. No, I'm still here.
Yeah. Sorry, the internet is a bit.
I thought I'd vanished for a little bit. So yeah, and my other goal, I don't know whether I can do this yet. We're obviously a way off on this funding process, but my other goal would be to try and provide participating filmmakers with a stack of AI, a stack of licenses that allows them to use these kind of tools quickly and efficiently. So, and I think just it makes sense. It just makes sense.
It definitely does, Martin. I think really you're onto something, because I went to the site, to KiWIMA's site, and I was so impressed. I think I did tell you about it, and I was just browsing through the content that's on there. But you're saying that content is the shortlisted programs that you would like to commission or to start off with?
That is the kind of programming that I am expecting the channel the platform would stream. So I made that up at this point in time, but we will. That's the kind of thing.
I'm so sorry. Something is a bit. Our internet it just goes on and off. But do you mind taking that again about the content on your platform?
Yeah, so the content on the platform is really just an inspirational thing of what the kinds of things we will be eventually commissioning. But just to give the people listening an idea, that website was put together with Midjourney, which is a image generating AI. It was put together with Canva, which helps you design posters. Canva is completely free. And I used Claude to write the descriptions of the content, both in English and Swahili. And Claude put the website together for me in about 4 hours.
What? In just 4 hours?
In 4 hours. So, I mean, I think that this is the kind of adaptation that we should be looking at as filmmakers, to be able to grasp this opportunity of this new technology that's landing in our laps to improve everything that we are doing. And it's really, for me, it's a really exciting time. And as I said, especially since we don't need to sell this beyond the African continent. We don't need to go trekking to Europe to get people to sign up to this. You know, we can find ways to sell this within Africa.
Yes. So, I mean, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. There's another thing though, that I want to say, which I think is something that every filmmaker needs to consider. So in 2008, a guy called Kevin Kelly, who was the creator of Wired magazine, came up with this concept called 1,000 True Fans. And 1,000 True Fans for him was mostly aimed at like musicians and photographers. But he said that if you could find 1,000 people to spend $100 on your relationship each year, you could find yourself with $100,000 income. And the main difference about that was you no longer then need big billboard advertising. You don't need TV advertising. You need to build relationships with your audience. And so a lot of what we will be expecting the producers to do through us, and we'll guide them through this process, is to build that relationship. And by that, I mean, win a chance to come to win a chance to choose the extras, win a chance to be an extra, win a chance to come to set, win a chance to meet the stars, win a chance to come to the rap party, because by giving people, choose the dress that the actress wears in the final scene, choose the soccer jersey that the actor wears. All of these things give what psychologists call psychological ownership. And it makes people feel, well, they definitely want to see the film when it's made. They definitely want to see what the result is, because they want to see how they were involved. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the ways I think that KiWIMA helps is by bringing this all together so that there is this critical mass of engagement. So you're involved in your film this week, but my story next week, and then someone else's the week after. And you've got constantly something to go back to, which makes you feel as if you are part of the story. I would definitely suggest that any filmmaker today thinks of those kind of things anyway. I would also suggest that any filmmaker working today spends as much time now thinking about the behind the scenes, and everything. For people today, everything of content is interesting. So you can film the casting sessions, you can film the table reads, you can film the location scouts, you can film any of that. Becomes part of the content that tracks people into becoming a fan of your work.
That 1,000 true fans.
Yeah, 1,000 true fans. So it's really just, how do you build a relationship with people who are your audience? How do you get away from just expecting that they're going to buy a cinema ticket and go home again afterwards, and you have to start from scratch with your very next film, to creating this kind of critical mass and growth of this relationship, so that next time Mr. B's film appears on their screening thing, they go, oh, I had a great interaction with him last time. He replied to my Twitter. He da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to watch this one. And so, it's, and again, I think that as African producers have better chance of creating those relationships with other Africans than people coming in from the West will.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey, Martin, let's see. We've got a comment. Wonderful start, exciting times. So the last piece of the puzzle is funding. Are you foreseeing a commissioning framework in the near future, or are you looking at content creator partnerships only? That's a question for you.
So if we get this right, and if we can bring in the audience that I think we will be able to, the platform pays for itself in terms of commissioning filmmakers. So the goal is that we will have a 3-tier commissioning structure. So we'll have our experienced producers who we are really relying on. We're not monitoring too closely. We know they're going to produce that thing. Probably have slightly higher budgets. Then there'll be our mid-level producers who are getting, the six shows a year to make. And then we'll have an entry-level one where you could get maybe 1 or 2 shows to try out and see how you cope within this high-pressure system. But the goal at the moment is that we would be commissioning that ourselves. Through the platform to our producer partners who we've signed up. And one of, just in reference to the previous comment, one of the things that we would be doing at sign up initially is saying, you need to find us 200 audience members. You need to bring us 200 of your friends and family who would sign up to this. This is a group effort, right? So, but it shows what we're trying to do. It's not an opportunity for anyone to just come along and expect to find an audience. We have to work at it. But the goal at the moment is to commission everything that we screen. And one of the things that I'm not currently looking for, eventually I will, but I'm not currently looking for existing Swahili language product. Because it doesn't have the built-in audience engagement that I need to make this sticky. So if I just show existing screenings of and even Chinese stuff, foreign stuff, it doesn't have the engagement opportunities that I want to be able to grow this as an organic thing that moves forward.
Oh, Martin, I think you have caused me to rethink my strategies, because we always have this idea that, look, I need to somehow get my content across the seas in order for it to succeed. we always thinking that way. At least for myself. Let me speak for myself, because this sentiment might not be shared with other filmmakers. But that's what I've always thought. You know, at somebody in the US, probably when I do the exchange rate and whatnot, they'll find it so easy to subscribe to the platform. But after this conversation, you're making me rethink everything, because we've got everything in Africa.
And the other thing that I haven't even touched on is the advertising partnerships.
Those.
So one of the things I tried when I was the film commissioner in Colorado, we tried making sure that every independent producer who was producing films that year showed the trailers of at least 2 other producers before their own films, when we were selling DVDs back in that stage.
Yes.
So that's something that I think consider doing. So you cross promote each other. And then when you're doing that, the ability then to go to a ShopRite who is selling into Africa and say, you know, we are, again, in the 4 cities that I'm targeting principally, Nairobi, Dar es Salaam, Mombasa, and Zanzibar City, there are 17 million people. 75% of them are under the age of 35, and they have 100% mobile saturation.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't even have to travel, you know, right across the country to be able to reach the people that you want to reach.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that, as I said, I think without a KiWIMA, it's more complicated. But with a KiWIMA there, then the opportunity for just expanding completely your viability as production companies is immense.
Martin, this is exciting, and I'm quite sure. Can you share perhaps your website, at least for filmmakers that are watching, because some would like to know how they can engage with you. What would be the website?
So the website is coming through on the studio chat. Do only you get that, or does everyone get that?
I get it. Let me see if I can put it up. But it's KiWIMA. All right, let me do this. I should. Where there's a will, there's a way. We're in Africa, you know.
Yeah.
We know how to wing it. We know how to wing it. I'll put it in the comments. All right. Oh man, this has been exciting.
I can also do it instead of my. Let me just do this as well. Oh yeah, you've just done it there.
There we go. I just put it as my comment, but yeah.
And I will just also. I'm going to give you my direct email. Just it's easier to.
Yes, please. Let's also do that. Let's share that, because we got filmmakers that want to send the content and to collaborate. Like I've told you, that there is huge interest as well from our side to collaborate and send you content, especially the idea of yeah.
Just carry on talking. I'm just looking up. I need to give you a number here. I
was saying what I'm most fascinated about is the ability now, is especially with AI, that I'm able to create this content. I'm able to create this film in English and put it through a pipeline that will be able to bring it up in Swahili, and then it's on your platform, because your platform, you've been very clear with it that's what you want. And I love that. I love that firmness, that you're not touching on everything. You are very specific. Jesus, man, this is amazing.
So just even for us, there are over 200 million people who speak English in Africa.
Yeah.
So even if I heard this really chilling description many years ago, which is when you release a film today, you are not only in competition with the other films released around it, but you are in competition with every other film ever released.
Yeah.
Because that's because that's what digital distribution has done to us, right? When I go now to sit down in front of the TV, I'm I'm looking at Amazon, I'm looking at Netflix, I'm looking at, you know, the YouTube for content. We're trying to compete with markets that are so far beyond us in terms of the marketing spend. But we have 200 million people who speak English in Africa. Why are we not making Anglophone films for Africa? If, you know, just in terms of, again, and I have no political skin in the game here. I have no, you know, rah, I want to make Swahili. It's just numbers. We're just looking at as a pure business perspective. What are the numbers? Because the numbers tell us that if we focus on demographics in Africa, we can start crafting, you know, the potential for a really rather successful, viable future.
Wow. Martin, thank you very much. I know, I mean, just like in our call, you've just made me rethink everything, man. Like, you're giving me a serious homework now, but it's a good homework.
And listen, and I mean, I love these kind of things as well. So if, you know, in the future, soon, you know, maybe after this call, you'll have people will start discussing and having questions. I'm very happy that we come back, and because there may also be things that you raise that I haven't thought of, which will help me shape the product better as well. So I'm really open to, but I really do see my job here right now as to say, stop trying to sell to Europe, stop trying to sell, start focusing on how we sell into Africa, because that is where the future is going to be. I mean, I was running, one of the things I ended up doing in the Serbian government was running the World Expo. And I was in charge of international participation for the World Expo, which is coming up in Serbia next year. And I just kept saying to them, stop messing about. Build relationships with Africa, because it's where the future of trade is going to be in the next decades. So this is just our heads up. You know, let's work out how we get there.
Yes, let's work out how we get there. I mean, we've got a number of people that are doing amazing stuff, but let's all work towards there. Martin, your contacts didn't come through, but what I will do is, we've got a group. If you're fine with it, you can share your contacts with me. I will put it on the African Microdrama Producers group, because most of our audiences, they're coming from that group, so that those that want to work with you, collaborate with you, can do that. I really appreciate your time, Martin, for you to spend these 2 hours, because we've been here setting up and all. It's been a pleasure chatting to you. So insightful. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Would you have any parting words?
It's my absolute pleasure. No, just make African films for African audiences.
Make African films for African audiences. We'll leave it there. Anything beyond that, we would have messed it up. Thank you, Martin, and have a great night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.